We're getting in breaking inputs on Pakistan. This is the first time ever that Pakistani army has accepted its involvement in the Kargil War. In fact, sitting Pakistan Army Chief General Asim Munir has confirmed that Pakistan army was involved in the Kargil War with India back in 1999. This is the first public admission, that too after 25 years. Remember, it was this year that India commemorated 25 years of the Kargil War. We all know the role that the Indian Army played to secure India's borders, especially the LOC. Let's quickly go across to Ishan Wani, who's joining me on the phone line with more inputs. Ishan, remember when the war began, it was also sort of believed that there were ISI agents who were occupying certain areas when you look at Kargil, but it was later revealed that it was the Pakistan army, and now something that has finally been acknowledged by the Pakistan Army General himself.
You're absolutely right. India has always said that it was the Pakistan regulars and not any other people who had come to Kargil and occupied those heights before attacking the Indian Army soldiers who went there. But this is the first admission and acknowledgement by a Pakistan high-ranking official, none other than Asim Munir, who has said that there was Pakistan Army who was part of that particular action that took place, the war actually. He was addressing a ceremony at the General Headquarters in Rawalpindi, which marks the Pakistan's 59th Defence Day. And, while remembering all those who have fought for Pakistan, he mentioned that those who fought in 1999 Kargil War, so it essentially meant that's an admission that Pakistan's regular or the army was very well part of that particular incursion that took place towards Ladakh, particularly the Kargil area, Dras, and other areas where they had tried to occupy all these peaks when the winter came. They told the international community that these were the Mujahideen which were occupying the peaks and were launching an attack on the Indian army. But India was very clear that they had intelligence-based input which suggested that it was the Pakistan army and Northern Light Infantry which had come across and occupied those areas. And yes, it was a major controversy.
All right, Ishan, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Stay with us because let's also listen in to what the Pakistan Army General has to say, because we also have his reaction coming in. Let's quickly play it out.
और दुश्मनों का डट कर मुकाबला किया। यकीनन पाकिस्तानी कौम एक जर्री और बहादुर कौम है जो आज़ादी की अहमियत को निभाना और इसकी कीमत चुकाना अहसन तरीके से जानती है। 1948, 1965, 1971 या कारगिल की पाक बहारत जंगें हों या सियाचन का महाज, हज़ारों शहदा वतन की सलामती और हुर्मत की खातिर कुर्बान हुए। दहशतगर्दी के खिलाफ तवील और सब्र आज़मा गैर रवायती जंग में कुर्बानियों का सिलसिला आज भी जारी है, जो दहशत क़ुव्वतों और दुश्मनों का डट कर मुकाबला किया।
All right, we quickly go back to Ishan, who continues to stay with us. Ishan, very interesting that, after 25 years, that admission has finally come from the Pakistan Army Chief, the sitting Pakistan Army Chief. Important to also highlight why so far Pakistan has been so elusive about its involvement in this war.
Well, at that time, you remember, they couldn't have officially said that they were going into the war, and they were the ones who had inflicted that war, because there was a lot at stake, and that's why, the Pakistan's military and political leadership for the years had this claim that they had distanced itself from this particular operation, as often referring them as just mere, Kashmiri freedom fighters, quote unquote. And over the years, but India was clear. All the army generals who fought in the war, all the army officers who fought in the war, said that the Pakistan needs to acknowledge the fact that these were Pakistani soldiers. Because many a times the bodies were refused. They refused to take the bodies, and then also India wrote to the Pakistan army saying that they should claim their soldiers. But many of them remained unclaimed. And even, if you remember, one of the army soldiers, was killed, an officer. A citation was written by an Indian army officer asking for, saying that he was a brave officer and his work should be recognized by the Pakistan army. And now finally, this is for the first time that any top-ranking officer, none other than the army chief of the Pakistan, has admitted clearly that the army, the soldiers who went to the war were there, and it will open up a new chapter, because it's officially a confirmation from any high-ranking official in Pakistan who has confirmed that it was the Pakistan Army who went into the war of 1999.
Absolutely. On that note, let me quickly bring in Siddhant Mishra also, who's joining me on the phone line, Ishan. Siddhant, so far we've only heard retired Pakistan Army officials or even say a Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan. He had gone on to also acknowledge the role of the Pakistan Army, but was not the sitting Prime Minister. He did it when he had exited office. So, important to highlight why this is so significant and big.
Well, this is significant because from day one, India's position was very clear as far as the Kargil War is concerned, that it was not just orchestrated by the Pak Army, but Pak Army actively participated in the war. So that has been India's position, and in fact, India has been trying to convince the world regarding this same from day one. Now, this is perhaps for the first time, Akanksha, that a sitting general of Pak Army is accepting on the Defense Day the death of Pak Army soldiers in Kargil War. It's very, very significant. Also remember, as you rightly pointed out, before this, we used to hear from retired brigadiers, army generals, Nawaz Sharif, as you rightly pointed out. Sometimes it was discussed in the Pak Parliament as well. But never ever the army of Pakistan accepted it officially that they were behind the Kargil War, and the soldiers of the Pakistani army did actively participated in it. They were martyred. They were, I beg your pardon, they were killed. But Pakistani government and army never recognized that they were dead.
All
it also talks about the conduct and the professionalism of Pak army, that they don't recognize those who have shed lives for their country. So,
very rightly said. Many thanks to you, Siddhant. Let me quickly bring in Major General A.K. Sivach as well, who's joining us on the phone line as well. Major General, is the sitting Army Chief General of Pakistan trying to bring that lost shahadat, as they call, to all those soldiers of the Pakistan Army, something that so far all those army chiefs or even the sitting Prime Minister in Pakistan denied their army?
No doubt. See, as far as Pakistan is concerned, they were always on a denial mode. They never said that the Pakistan army was involved in Kargil War. And in fact, they refused to take the dead bodies of their soldiers, which were of basically their regular army. So now once General Asim Munir is accepting it, so now the whole world will come to know that it is in Kargil War, it was Pakistan army which was totally involved in this, and Pakistan has been refusing that over a period of time. Now they are admitting it. But imagine Indian army, the standard is that irrespective, they have not taken their dead bodies of their regular soldiers, of their regular army. We have given them the last respect and also buried them as per the protocol. And we also gave their dead bodies locally. But the question comes is, how long Pakistan will keep on having this duplicate policy on terrorism? You know, the Pakistan is totally involved in terrorism today. They are sending Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaish-e-Mohammed. They are always on denial mode because they use terrorism as a state instrument. And the same thing they did in Kargil War. They came and occupied those posts, and then they kept on refusing that they are Mujahideen. Now the cat is out of the bag. Their own chief is accepting it. It was a regular army which was NLI which was participating there. And it was not only Mujahideen, it was the regular soldiers. That there are Durustai. But the fact is that they refuse to take the dead bodies of their soldiers, which can be an army which can refuse that their own soldiers. It's irony as far as Pakistan is concerned. It's the same army which has surrendered 90,000 prisoners in 1971 war. So the point is, well, let General Asim Munir say anything. Can he condone what has happened in Kargil War? That they came and then they lost it. They have lost all the war they have taken place so far with India. But unfortunately, Pakistan will never learn the lesson.
I think, General Asim Munir's point, the statement coming in today is in itself a reiteration of the point that you've very, effectively made. Sir, many thanks to you for joining in on CNN News 18 with your precious insights and with